Heat dome is shifting west, and in its wake, an uptick in thunderstorm chances across the state. I hope you're ready for some lightning. Let's talk about it and the latest on the tropics in this Tuesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Hi there, I'm Texas Storm Chaser's baldy-in-chief David Reimer. It's Tuesday, the 19th of August, 2025. Thanks for taking time out of your busy days to pop on in here for some baldy-in-chiefisms. I'll give you a guess as to why I'm known as baldy-in-chief, but I might have something to do with the fact I'm bald, and I'm also the chief here at Texas Storm Chasers. Let's talk about what we have going on today and tonight into tomorrow. It's going to be a pretty active period, especially for August, with a plethora of thunderstorm chances across the state. Still, some of y'all are going to definitely miss out, but we probably are definitely going to at least have a lightning show in your vicinity at some point over the next couple of days. As you can see, both today, tonight, and again Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night, scattered to, at times, locally numerous showers and thunderstorms are expected in several regions of the state. We're going to have some storms coming in out of Oklahoma into the northern and eastern parts of the state. We're going to have pop-ups along the Texas Gulf Coast and the usual mischievous activity across the western third of the state. In fact, going into tonight and tomorrow morning, you could see storms moving southwest out of Oklahoma, northwest Texas, through the Big Country and the Permian Basin, perhaps. That would be in relation to an outflow boundary moving on down the road. So, again, we may have some storms continuing into the overnight hours, meaning, well, some of y'all are going to get quite a lightning show. Any one of these storms today, tonight, and tomorrow will have the potential of producing dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning, locally heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and some of y'all might get localized microburst winds over 60 miles per hour. That's just, summertime environment. And some of y'all may pick up a quick inch or two of rain if you get a storm sitting on you for a longer period of time, or you get multiple storms. So, when thunder roars, get your keister indoors. And, please don't get struck by lightning or, be on a lake when one of these things approaches and get capsized by gusty winds. Nevertheless, probably quite a lightning show tonight for some of y'all. I'm envious. Wildfire danger over the next few days, generally moderate across the state. Most grasses have started to go dormant with that summer heat, even if we are looking at uptick in rain chances the next few days. Still, you're going to have to keep an eye out for grass fires and even some lightning-induced grass fires as well, if we get some lightning strikes in areas that don't get a quick wetting rainfall afterwards. Tropics are busy. Here is Hurricane Erin, located northeast of the Bahamas this morning. Erin is, I don't want to use the term weakening. Winds have definitely come down, but the wind field has become quite expansive. So it's one of those cases where, sure, you may not have 140 mile an hour sustained winds, but the wind field has gone from, say, 60 miles in diameter out to hundreds of miles. So the result is going to be Erin moving northwest today, beginning to turn north and getting pushed northeast, heading through the week. However, the track has shifted far enough west to where, even though the center is going to remain well offshore of the United States, it is going to be close enough to the Outer Banks to produce tropical storm force winds, and thus a tropical storm warning is in effect for that. Storm is also close enough to the coast where we're going to see significant coastal flooding from the Carolinas all the way up through the mid-Atlantic and parts of the northeastern United States during high tide. Moderate to locally major coastal flooding is expected. We have a storm surge warning for the Outer Banks of the Carolinas up to 4 feet above tidal norms for flooding there, and we're going to have coastal flooding up through places like Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, New Jersey, up into New York later this week. So beach erosion, big-time rip currents, and even some coastal flooding are expected with that, even with the center remaining well offshore. Let's take a look at the tropics besides Erin. Yeah, starting to get a little busier. We have Little Orange that'll be passing over northern sections of the Lesser Antilles, passing near and north of Puerto Rico over the next 5 to 7 days. That's got a 60% probability of becoming a tropical system. That may follow in Erin's wake. Most model data now trying to suggest it's going to stay a little northeast, and then behind it, you can see a lower latitude wave out off Africa. We'll have to keep an eye on that as well, but the tropics definitely heating up. This is also your daily reminder. If you're seeing doomsday weather model guidance on social media for 7 to 14 days out, showing a major hurricane hitting New Orleans, Mobile, Miami, folks, that just don't. Seriously, I'll give you a little hint. Most of what that is deterministic weather model guidance. One model run, one model. Do you know that each model has a subset of data called an ensemble? That is usually dozens of different weather models run with slightly different initialization parameters. So you're looking at one subset of dozens. And because of that, wow, clearly it goes viral on social media because doom, gloom, devastation goes viral, right? Well, guess what? That's typical in terms of weather model data. The next run's typically flip-flopped 500 miles away. So be mindful of that, even though it's super doomsday and scary, and you're going to have the naysayers saying, oh, no! No. Look, just follow the people who know what they're talking about and aren't trying to get a few bucks on social media, and it'll be okay. It's a different story when we're talking within 5 days, but, long-range weather models, every summer we go through this. It's like the equivalent of winter showing a blizzard 10 to 15 days out in DFW, and then, 15 days later, it's 55 to 65 degrees and sunny. It is what it is. And, that horse is out of the barn. It's not getting put back in. But just, yeah, that's the baldy-in-chief rant for today. So we have nothing imminent here in the Gulf, nothing imminent for Texas, but we're watching it, that's for sure. And we'll keep you updated. Back to the continental United States. Here you go. Here's the upper pattern from the European weather model over the next 5 to 7 days. This is 500 millibar geopotential heights, around 18,500 feet above sea level. This is a good way to see, one, where the heat dome's setting up shop, and two, kind of a weather pattern change. Well, first off, next few days, heat dome set up over the four corners, allowing that weak northerly flow aloft to bring, storm chances into Texas, for one. Two, you can see going into next week, we kind of changed things up significantly. We've got our first big trough of the late summer. I say late summer, but this really is more like an early fall look for parts of the northeastern United States. That's a big old storm system digging into the Great Lakes and northeast U.S., going to bring much cooler weather and a more continental air mass to the eastern parts of the U.S. early next week. You can see down here, that might bring a weak northwesterly flow. Heat dome kind of gets squished down into the southwestern United States, but yeah, things looking a little fall-like for the northeastern U.S. next week. What's that mean for us? Well, hey, on the bright side, at least things may cool off a bit. Maybe a continuation of rain chances. All right, let's take a look at the precipitation map. And for what it's worth also, if we have any major fires ongoing in the West Coast this week, up in the Pacific Northwest, Canada, almost said Canada next week, that northwest flow may bring some smoke in. You can see next few days, again, scattered pop-up showers and storms. Continuing into Thursday, Friday across the state. You can see as we go into the weekend, chances look a little more confined to the coast and maybe the panhandle. And then we'll have to keep an eye out to the north for any indications of storms trying to move in. But overall, you can see this is really not being as rambunctious with storm chances across the state this weekend, which means things may actually look pretty nice heading into the weekend across the state. Of course, it's only Tuesday, so we'll see how that gets obliterated. But you can see storm chances mainly along and near the coast heading into Friday afternoon. And then in the weekend, things generally stay the same, but may become a little less active. All right, here is the temperature forecast today. Guess what? It's hot. 105 in Texarkana. That is hotter than hot for y'all. Very, very hot. Might be the hottest day y'all get this summer, to be honest, hopefully. 105 in Texarkana, 102 in Marshall and Longview, 103 in New Boston, 101 Dallas, 100 San Antonio, 98 in Houston, 104 Laredo. When it's hotter in Texarkana than Laredo, a weird pattern, right? Western parts of the state, only 93 in El Paso. I say only, but yeah, really. 90s, western half of the state. So it's hot, with the hottest today, Northeast Texas and the Arklatex. Stay cool, stay hydrated. Tomorrow, things start to change. 89 there in Plainview, 90 in Amarillo out in the Panhandle. We're cooling off a bit out there. About 97 to 98 DFW, 98 Texarkana, so 5 degrees less hot. 97 in Houston. We're still 101 in San Antonio, 102 in Laredo. At least, well, that's more typical. Then going into Thursday, 97 San Antonio, 95 DFW, 93 Texarkana, so 12 degrees less hot than today. By Thursday, we're starting to see that northerly flow kick in a bit, the heat dome shift off west, uptick in precipitation chances, more clouds. Heading into Friday, you could see most of the state in the 90s, a few upper 80s, and then on Saturday, still looking at upper 80s to 90s across the state. Not seeing too many triple digits on this map, though there probably still will be. Here's the Climate Prediction Center outlook, the 24th through 28th of August. You can see a lot of blue and purple showing up near the Great Lakes, the northeastern U.S., with that early fall-like trough kicking in. That's going to bring much cooler air, much drier continental air mass as well. Big drop in humidity. You know, we'll see. Maybe we can get in on some of that in northern parts of the state of Texas, but most of it's going to be shunted off to our east. Southeastern U.S., East U.S., after, you know, a very oppressive summer, they're going to enjoy it. Here, still looking above average temperatures. Precipitation outlook, well, near average to maybe a little wetter. So, you know, it's better than kicking in drought, right? We're definitely not having summer of hell repeats in terms of, you know, 2 months of no rain, wildfire danger going from 0 to holy moly guacamole flash drought. But we still got to get through the rest of the month of September, but we'll see. I will admit I'm a little worried that if this pattern keeps up heading into the fall, we're going to have an active fall. But for now, we'll just see where things go with that. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, daily Texas weather roundups, and more free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app, and of course here on YouTube. We'll keep a close eye on storms today, tonight, and tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of them. Some of them will require severe thunderstorm warnings for locally damaging winds, and of course all these storms will produce dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning and heavy rain. So when thunder roars, get your keister indoors. We'll have some updates heading through the afternoon and evening here on the YouTube, social media, and the Texas Storm Chasers website and mobile app. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll keep an eye on things. Y'all can do the same. Have a good day, and God bless.